Have the owner hand the leash of the dog to you. Do not approach the dog in the corner of the room, since some animals may become defensive. If a muzzle is needed, it should be placed on the animal prior to lifting the animal onto the table. The leather muzzle can be quickly slipped over the dog's nose and then fastened behind the dog's head, while the assistant controls the dog's head movements and prevents the dog's front paws from pushing the muzzle off. A long piece of gauze also works well as a muzzle. Place a single throw in the gauze and leave a large loop with excess gauze on either side of the knot. If possible, the assistant should try to control the dog's head movements. The gauze loop is placed over the dog's mouth and nose with the single knot on top of the nose. This is quickly tightened with the hands held away from the dog's mouth. The ends of the gauze are then quickly passed underneath the dog's mandible and twisted around each other. Do not attempt to place a single throw knot under the mandible, since this takes too much time and may allow the dog to remove the muzzle. Once the ends of the gauze are twisted under the mandible, they are brought behind the ears and tied in a bow. The bow tie behind the ears makes it easy to quickly remove the muzzle if necessary. Again, as the muzzle is being tied in place, the assistant should control the dog's head movements and the front paws to prevent muzzle removal. Once the muzzle is in place, the dog can be lifted to the exam table. To lift the dog onto the exam table, one arm is placed underneath the dog's neck and held next to the dog's chest. The other arm is placed either underneath the dog's abdomen or around the dog's hindquarters. The dog is then lifted onto the table. If the animal is too large to be lifted alone, one person lifts the front end, controlling the head, while a second person lifts the hind end. To restrain the dog on a table, one arm should go under the neck with the hand over the opposite shoulder. The elbow should be elevated under the dog's jaw to help control head movements. The other arm can be placed over the dog's back. If the animal is large and difficult to control, the arm controlling the dog's body should reach across the back of the dog, and the hand should grasp the opposite side of the table. To restrain a dog in lateral recumbency, reach across the dog's back and grasp the foreleg and hind leg closest to you. Carefully place the dog in lateral recumbency, having your assistant cushion the dog's head so it does not hit the table. The forearm restrains the neck, and the hand controls the forelegs. The other arm and hand are used to restrain the body and the rear legs. When the examination is finished, the animal should be lifted to the floor and the muzzle removed. For extremely fractious dogs, the rabies pole can be used. The loop is placed over the dog's head, and the rope is tightened just enough to control the dog and prevent the dog from getting free. The pole itself can be used to control the dog and prevent the dog from biting anyone. When restraining cats, it is important to remember to use the minimum amount of restraint possible. Cats tend to become upset and stressed if overhandled, and often more can be accomplished with little or no restraint. If necessary, however, more confining restraint can be used. To carry a cat properly, one arm goes over the cat's back, and the hand controls the cat's front feet. The cat's hindquarters are tucked under the arm between the elbow and the body. The other hand is free to control the cat's head if necessary. To restrain a cat for injections, one hand holds the cat by the scruff of the neck, and the other holds the hind feet. The cat is then extended on the table while the injection is given. A leather muzzle can also be used for a cat. The muzzle is placed over the cat's nose and mouth and tied behind the ears. A cat bag can also be used for restraint. The cat is placed inside and the bag is closed. Various openings are available in the bag so that one leg at a time can be released. If no cat bag is available, a large towel works well. The towel is opened on the table and the cat is placed in the middle of the towel. The towel is wrapped tightly around the cat, first one side of the towel, then the other. The cat's head should protrude from the front of the towel, but the front feet should be tucked inside. The cat bag and the towel can be used to restrain a cat for venipuncture, injections, or giving medications.